I learned how to snowboard here when I was 6 years old. And it's always been a home resort. Love this place.
I think Bachelor taught me a lot about being a snowboarder and riding my snowboard. It's this big skate park, mountain, tons of little transitions, tons of bumps everywhere. I think it really taught me how to ride transition, hold speed, use my edges, and get around a mountain. Growing up, it was every weekend, wake up early, there'd be a snowboard movie on the TV already. Dad would have breakfast made. Since the whole family was into snowboarding, we ended up doing a lot. Those were kind of our vacations. We would get to go to a new mountain and check out a new resort together as a family. I think a lot of my early success came from competing. It was a way for me to come up and a way for people to learn who I was. And when you did good, you were hyped, and that was a good feeling to chase. After that summer, started getting jackets and boards and been riding for them ever since. It's kind of insane. I'd say I'm competitive, but I'm not an insanely competitive person. But to be on a level where you're competitive against all these other dudes, you have to be calculated and know what you're doing and have practiced. But you can keep the work fun because it's snowboarding. It's the funnest thing ever. I just snowboard because it's super fun. It's what I love to do, but when you do anything too much, you definitely end up getting burnt out on it. Definitely competing, you're doing that every weekend. You go to the same spots to do these same contests, and it's the same half pipe. When you do that over and over again, it loses some of its sparkle, the stuff that makes it special.
67.2, and unfortunately just missing out here on finals. That's going to do it for Ben Ferguson. One more time,
I love riding powder. I think everybody does. That's the best. We got into free riding, just being at home, riding at Bachelor. Anytime it would snow, we would just ride the mountain and kind of learn how to ride POW. Because it is different than riding park. You gotta learn how to land in it. You gotta learn how to lean back. Different way to enter and exit a turn. Cook City with Danny was probably my first legit film trip. I got some time to spend up at Baldface for another film thing and started getting better at it. That same year, I ended up going to Alaska for the first time with Tim Manning, and he taught me a lot about what to look for as far as avalanches and what kind of lines would go, and don't walk there, don't hang out on this cornice, that kind of stuff.
This is the board I rode the first time I ever went to Alaska. Hanging onto that one. Special board.
I remember picking a line, and Tim was like, hey, you sure? And then I laced this pretty hairy, spiny line, but I didn't know what I was doing, you know? I was just survival boarding down this thing. That definitely got me hooked because it was the fastest I had ever gone in my life and probably the best snow I've ever ridden in. I definitely see myself in the next coming years getting way more into filming in the big mountains, and being prepared and knowing what you need to know to do it safely is super important. There's just so much that I could get into, and that's what I want to chase, and I want to get better at that kind of stuff. Snowboarding is my lifestyle. It's what I do, like the people I hang out with. It's what I get excited for. I think I'll always be a snowboarder. I mean, I'm obviously gonna try to do it as long as I can professionally, but when that ends, I mean, I'll always live in the mountains. I love it.